Oh, hello there. Oh, hi. I remember this face. Do you remember mine? Anyways, I'm back on your screens. It's a Friday. And you know we love Fridays, right? Yeah, two reasons why we love Fridays. It begins our weekend, and we absolutely love and enjoy the weekend, don't we? Plus, we get to watch E-Corner on the AM show on Joy News, isn't it? So yeah, you're welcome, and it's great to see you once again. I've got real stories today, and all the tea you didn't know you needed. So grab a seat, grab a drink, because today's lineup is pretty loaded, and we'll kick things off by talking fame. Yeah, that thing almost everybody loves to chase, but a few can handle. Ghana's very own J.Derobie is sharing his regrets, and trust me, social media had a lot to say about it. Did he really mean what he said? Well, we'll find out. And then we'll jet over to comedian Michael Blackson, I beg your pardon, who gave back to his hometown with a free school only for his big investment plan, Ghana's Eurobond, to run into trouble. Now, how's that playing out? The tea is piping hot. And then we'll share with you some really sad news. It's the reason why I'm clad in black today. That news was broken last night, was broken last night. So much to unpack right here on the show. It's really a sad story, but I'll be sharing all of that right here with you. And so don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. And you're welcome back. It's Noella Karaniani on your favorite E-Corner right here on the AM show. Let's get sipping, shall we? And to begin, let's talk about fame. I'm sure if I should ask any of you to define what fame is, some of you would define it as, the state of being widely known, recognized, or admired by many people, often due to visibility, achievement, or even influence. Now, if you're like me, who sometimes love to be a bit philosophical, then we can define fame as either proof of impact, a fleeting echo of one's actions, or one's desire to be remembered, beyond a particular moment. Now, some also believe fame is bad due to the superficial validation, the pressure to maintain an image, loneliness, and a distorted sense of self that's associated with fame. And one of those people is a young man called J.Derobie Jr. I know it doesn't ring a bell. It's fine. So I brought you a story. I brought you a picture. I beg your pardon. So that's him. He's a musician with a stage name, J.Derobie. Now, in 2019, I'm going to tell you a story, okay? And so follow. I need you to follow the story keenly. So in 2019, musician Mr. Easy launched an initiative aimed at discovering, the continent's next big music stars called Empower 100. And amongst the thousands of people that partook in that initiative was the young man J.Derobie, who made a mark with this entry.
Hey. In my life, me no want far, me no far, me no want dark, me no dark.
And that freestyle simply captured on his mobile phone. I don't know what brand he was using at the time. You can tell by the the quality, but yeah, you can tell some a combo kakra. But that freestyle did not only earn him praises from Mr. Easy himself, it earned him praises from Stonebwoy, from Shatta Wale, from Jamaican stars like Popcan and Cranium. Now, it also earned him a slot in the short list of selected artists, and beyond that, his freestyle was also later recorded into a song. He named that song Poverty. It went viral, and the song's success also led to a record deal with Empower Africa. That's Mr. Easy's record label. A remix that featured Popcan, and the 2020 Ghana Music Awards Reggae Dancehall Song of the Year award. Plus, a beautiful video was shot for the song. Watch. So that was Poverty, beautiful song. I fell in love with the song back in 2022 when it was released, and I'm still in love with it till today. Now, after Poverty and still under Empower, He released an album titled Grains from Love and Reality. And then, their relationship went on and on and on. It was peaceful, it was great. And then one morning we woke up to news of him parting ways with Empower. Don't ask me why, because I really don't know. I literally don't know why he parted ways with that record label. But what I do know is that following that news, he released a couple of really nice songs, I must say. I'm not too sure about how well those songs were promoted, because he released some really, really great, tracks. But long story short, he came by the Hit Studio this week, had a warm conversation with my colleague J.Derobie, and then he was asked about the one thing he regrets so far in his journey, and you want to watch this.
I think the narrative that is out there is like the caption. The caption that is out there is like people are...
What is that one thing you regret since you started doing music?
Fame.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, sometimes it like people don't understand how it works, so it gets tiring. Like people, like you don't have your freedom. It's like you don't everywhere you go they know you.
Oh, you're not able to go buy your watch.
Go like if you
can't go and buy your cocoa.
So sometimes I just don't mind too much, because if you watch there too much, you'll be boxed, and when you are boxed in that way, like you start feeling stress and all that. So,
but you would say that you used to worry about it, but now not.
Yeah,
you don't.
I don't worry about those things. Like if I want to go and buy my watch, sometimes oh super, let me buy for you. Oh no, make her go. I know what they do.
Don't you think it's the Rasta that has made you feel like that now?
No, it's like waking up.
It's waking up,
being conscious of
and
yourself.
Be like, are they?
No, ma'am, let me go. I
mean, when you were doing all your music, the fame that came to you and all that, where did you think you were headed to at that point when like things started picking up and things were going well for you?
I imagined me heading to the top, and I still have that dream. You know, I still have that dream that I will make it to the top, that I will win Grammy and things. Yeah, I still have that dream.
Right.
And I think in whatever that happens, it's still on the right channel to the top.
All right, so that was J.Derobie, with his biggest regrets in life, and that happens to be fame. But listen, the interview found its way on social media, and it elicited a lot of backlash. A lot of people sort of maybe heard it wrongly, did not hear it right, but they drew their own conclusions to what he had to say. And the heat was so intense on social media, he had to call into the show the next morning to clarify what he meant by saying that his biggest regret is fame. And he explained. I wanted to play that, but I'm trying to manage my time here so I can give you more stories, right? So I'm gonna, paraphrase what he said. So basically he says that he hates or he regrets what fame has disallowed him to do. So when he wasn't famous, when nobody knew him as J.Derobie, he could go and buy his watch, his cocoa on the streets, take his trotro, his taxi and everything. And nobody really cares about him like that. But following the fame he had, or the level of success he had, a lot of things, has been restricted. He isn't able to, live as freely as he would love to live. So that was the clarification. But anyways, he has released an EP called Firm After All. If we can take a look at that EP. So that is it, Firm After All. I've listened to it myself. It has 6 tracks on it. I've listened to it myself. Pretty nice songs. And so, yeah, you should really check it out. But for those of you who are clueless about what an EP is, it stands for Extended Play, which is a musical recording that contains more tracks than a single, but is shorter than a full album. So, yeah, check out J.Derobie's latest EP and let me know what you think, okay? I'd love to hear from you. But anyways, let's move away from that. And can we now talk about Michael Blackson? Rings the bell? It doesn't? Does it? Well, if you don't know him, don't worry. I'll tell you all about him. So this is Michael Blackson, okay? He is a Ghanaian, Liberian, American comedian, an actor, known for his wits, his African accent, and unique style of comedy. I mean, his comedy really blends African and American cultural experiences together. So you can tell how, you know, nice and original his pieces are. Now, his real name is Jafari Ferguson, okay? And he was born right here in Ghana. He actually moved to the United States in the late 1980s, where he began pursuing stand-up comedy. And that career, I understand, was inspired by the legendary Eddie Murphy. Now, if none of the things I have said so far about him resonates with you, then maybe the fact that he featured in, you know, popular shows, I beg your pardon, like Wild and Out, beautiful content, you should check it out, and also featured in Meet the Blacks or Coming to America, released in 2021, maybe that might make you remember who he is. If not, then I'm sorry, I tried. But anyways, what's the tea? The tea is, after years of hustling, doing only God knows what, in the Yanks. For those of you who don't know what the Yanks is, you need to acclimatize with a new way of, you know, speaking, especially in this era of Gen Zs. It's called cold talk. So when I say Yanks, I mean America, okay? Yeah. So after hustling in the Yanks, this man in 2022 did the noble thing of coming back to his roots right here in Ghana to give back. And how did he give back? Well, he built a state-of-the-art educational facility called the Michael Blackson Academy in his hometown, Agunansaba, in the central region. And here's the kick. That school, a private school, provides free education. So yeah, those are images of the school I'm talking about. Maybe you're thinking those kind of, you know, normal-looking school edifices or whatever. This is American standard, okay? So yeah, a private school free of charge in Ghana is possible. Very, very possible. But there was a reason why a private school like his providing quality education for free was possible. And that was because he invested a staggering 1.2 million United States Donald Trump dollars in Ghana's Eurobond. And according to him, the interest promised him, this is according to him, not me. According to him, the interest promised him was 9%, which meant that he would be paid $10,000 each month. And of course, that was going to be what the school will run on. Now, keep what I just said in mind while I take you back to September last year, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, in September last year, Michael made a couple of tweets expressing frustration over a certain investment. And you know me, I brought receipts with me. And so, director, let's take a look at the receipts I brought, some of the tweets that he shared on social media, his X account, actually. So he says, who's the Minister of Finance in Ghana? I have a beef with this guy. People of the diaspora decided to invest in our continent, and they used our money to pay their debt and gave us two options. Either take a 37% cut and receive 5% interest with 11 years maturity date, or no cut but 1.9% interest with 15 years maturity date. I'm very disappointed in my people for this. Next tweet, quickly, time is not our best friend. Next tweet, no, this is not the next tweet. But anyway, he literally just, shared his frustration on social media, talking about how he invested in the Eurobond, and then, he got, in his words, robbed. Now, while he stopped for a while, he stopped tweeting for a while, and some of us thought that maybe he could have been sorted out or something. Turns out, there's more to the story. Watch.
So this is what happened. So we put the money up. I probably it made one payment. The payment stopped. And, and this was right around COVID time. I spoke to the lady at the bank. She said, they're just having a little issue. The government, they're in debt. They borrowed money from China, COVID, bunch of excuses, which is excuses to me. But then I was, I spoke to one guy that worked for that particular regime. So the particular Ministry of Finance from the NPP regime. We have Democrat here and Republican. Here in Ghana, they have like the big ones are NPP and NDC.
Mm-hmm.
So at that particular time, NPP was in office. So they are the one to be blamed for it, not Ghana. Ghana is a great country with great people. I apologize to my Ghana for what I said, but I'm blaming it on the NPP. They decided to use our money to pay whatever debt it is, and then what it said to us? It said, thank you for helping us save the country. We didn't have nothing for now. It's going on 2 years, no payment. So now how am I gonna go find new money to pay for the school? And I'm funding out of my pocket. Now my money is on hold, and so I spoke to the bank lady. She said, Mike, they're gonna figure this out. Just a little issue, but everything should be okay. I said, okay, cool.
2 years later.
2 years later, then I hit up one of my guys that worked for that regime. I said, yo, man, what's up with your government? He's like, Mike, I'll get you your money back, but I'm gonna need 10%. Right? And trust me, I wish I would have did that.
So that was Michael Blackson opening up on his predicament with the Eurobond. Talked about how a certain government official offered to get his investment back, or his investment money back for him, but he needed a 10% cut. Long story short, this week, the presidency released a statement communicating that His Excellency John Mahama had directed the Finance Ministry to settle the DDEP coupons, which is essentially government paying back or finally paying back parts of the money they owe those who bought government bonds and suffered haircuts some years ago. And that included Michael Blackson. And so he shared that on social media. And he says, look at God. This is a very great start for all bondholders. As of today, I'm officially a member of the NDC party. J.D. Mahama, you just put a smile on the faces of the kids at my free school. So yeah, we're happy he's happy. He's gotten part of his money back. Let's move away from that quickly and bring you a very sad story. It's an unfortunate news that broke last night, and it's about the passing of one of our veteran actors, Mawuli Semevo. If you don't know him, that is him. That's his picture. We understand he passed at the Ridge Hospital here in Accra, where he was receiving treatment after suffering burns from a fire accident about a week ago. Now, it was a story I considered sharing with you, but I also thought about how sensitive it was, and I left it as is. So last 2 weeks, Saturday actually, a certain lady named Judith Addison of Beyond Burns International, which is a dedicated non-profit organization committed to providing advocacy and support for burn survivors, actually shared that story. And the story was also corroborated by his colleague, actors, they solicited for funds. I saw the likes of Sewa Mihe also answering that call, went to the hospital, gave them some, cash to take care of him. And so we were all hoping that we would hear some good news. He would come out of that, situation in good health. It didn't. And it's such a sad story. But yeah, we'll be following developments of this particular story keenly and bring you updates if we should have any. Until then, this is where we draw the curtains on eCorner today.